Listín Diario editorial for August 18th of 2023. The aorta of the country. The border is not simply a boundary line that divides one territory from another. In our case, it is the aorta of the country. In it is the blood of the national heart, and if it collapses, the homeland will enter a death trance. As an artery of sovereignty and nationality, the blood cells and platelets that purified it are represented at the same time in living liquid and solid substances. This can be represented in various elements that make up this artery: the members of the Special Border Security Command, the governors and mayors of the region, the immigration, customs, drug control, some ministries, consulates, and politicians. All these elements get involved to try to control it, but opportunists of all times appear in those junctions. Drug traffickers, arms, people, and various merchandise who manage to violate immigration laws and tax regulations. By itself, none of the living elements that make up border blood tissue is sufficient to guarantee that the blood of the homeland flows free of the other components that contaminate it every day. The Army has a limited presence in this framework because the soldiers belonging to this and other arms operate under the command of CESFRONT, which in turn acts under the umbrella of the Ministry of Defense. It is thought that a special coverage of this artery could be, in the future, the border wall. But even with the security and capacity to contain migrants that it will be called upon to guarantee will depend a lot on the corrosive role that hitmen, bribers, and traffickers play over the rest of the other components of the network. The collusion of officials and subordinates, custom agents, immigration officials, and political bosses or consuls with traffickers has taken root, and it is the main destabilizing factor in the national security system. It is not easy to disassemble it, but it can. At the time, when a firm and determined government enters with the force of the law and the Constitution, these mafias and those unworthy agents who support them with their sinful and anti-national conspiracies, the blood in the country's order could be more clean and invulnerable. That's how it should be, even if it looks like an utopia. For Listín Diario, voiceover and translations by Indira Rodriguez.